Welcome to the podcast, Creating Confident Communication. And I am so excited to bring you the guest this week. I am going to introduce to you Stacy Harmer. And Stacy Harmer is a certified holistic health coach and life coach, as well as a graduate of the Institute of Nutrition and the Life Coach School. She is also a raw food chef and an emotional release facilitator. Harmer holds both a bachelor's and a master's degree from BYU University in family science and education. She's a passionate educator, and she has taught various levels, including preschool, homeschool, high school, and college courses. Stacy is wife, mother of 8 children, and grandmother to 5 darling grandchildren. Her mission is to help women find joy and live vibrant lives. She is the founder of Vibrant Living, a community focused on healing bodies, hearts, and minds and souls, discovering purpose and passion, and sharing her unique gifts with the world. Stacy is also a founder of Vibrant Living Wellness and Come What May community, where women support women. Driven by passion to heal and empower the world, Stacy is on a mission to create. I am so excited, Stacy, that you're here with us today.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here, Talia. Thanks.
Well, your bio is incredible, and I have the honor to know you so well. But for those that don't know you very well, how did you get on this path and this journey to be able to help women and help the community and do all of these wonderful things? Will you share a little bit about your story with us?
Absolutely. I think everyone has a story and a journey to get us where we are today, right? And you and I have been through a lot together over the many years. So thank you so much for having me, Talia. You're amazing.
Yeah.
Well, my journey, I think, on this path of healing and health happened many years ago. In fact, it was almost 20 years ago. And through that journey, well, let me tell you a little bit about that journey. And that was that I was a mom at the time of 4 children that I adored. I think I was born to be a mother. That just brought me so much joy. Of course, I do a lot of other things, but those children, yeah, there's a lot to them. So, but my husband at the time, we're like, we're done. But inside my heart, I'm like, no, there's still another one there. And so we kind of butted heads on trying to, make peace with that. Anyway, long story short, we ended up adopting a little daughter. And that happened because one morning when we couldn't see eye to eye, I opened up my scriptures and just started pouring out my heart to Father in heaven. And like, I don't know what to do here because I know what it feels like in my heart and what it's telling me. And as I opened up my scriptures, it fell open to Esther. So I started reading about Esther. And after I read in Esther, I started thinking about her, and she's beautiful. She was beautiful. She was chosen by the king. She was instrumental in saving her people. But then I started realizing that Esther was not raised by her birth parents. She was a different nationality. And so the thought came that and the witness that we would have another daughter and she would be like Esther. And so that's when I introduced that idea to my husband. And eventually we did go down that path to adopt this sweet little daughter. And she was the light of our lives. But in a really sad situation, ended up passing away and blindsiding us, passing away in her sleep following a brief illness. And so nothing can prepare you for that, right? And
Right.
she had been with our family for 5 years, 5 years to the day that she was placed in my arms till we had to lay our sweet Olivia to rest. And so, man, so many lessons learned with her, but yeah, nothing could prepare us for just the earth-shattering experience of that experience, as well as just your heart broken into so many trillions of pieces. But a couple of years after her passing, then I started spiraling. Well, of course, that had built up, but not only had my family and I had lost our sweet daughter, now they were losing me as the wife and mother of our family as I started just spiraling and into a deep clinical depression. And after, medical intervention for several weeks and things, I came home and started pouring my heart out once again to my Father, my God, like, what do I do to heal? How do I get my life back? Because I was unrecognizable to myself and everyone that knew me. And this idea came to me, and I would get up in the morning, early morning hours, and just start writing, just start pouring out my thoughts. I started learning about personal development at this time because I'm up until that time, like life was going pretty smoothly. But man, when you need something, you get hungry for it. And I just started searching. And this idea came to me just as I was writing every morning and just dumping my brain and trying to connect with God. What can I do? This idea of a tree came to me. It's like, felt like Stacy, you're like this fruit tree. You need to nourish your roots, your four roots, your body, your heart, your mind, and spirit. And you need to do that daily because at that point, for the 2 previous years, I had turned to unhealthy habits, right? I mean, like sugar and chocolate and cookies, which on occasion is fine, but on a daily basis to numb the pain and of a really traumatic experience. I wasn't taking care of myself or my health. I needed to know for my heart how to manage the emotions, the level of trauma and the emotions that I was carrying. I didn't know how to release, and it was affecting me for sure.
Mhm.
And my mind, my mindset, man, I didn't realize by the words and thoughts I was thinking on repeat in my mind for 2 plus years. Oh, I should have done this and that, and I'm a failure. All the different things like I wish I would have done to change, right? The situation. And I didn't know that by repeatedly saying that, that would affect, right? Our thoughts become our results. And so I needed to manage my mind around the whole situation and accept it. And then my spirit. I was always a just a high energy, go, go, go person. But I learned I needed to slow down. And that's when I discovered meditation, really connecting deep, deep with the heavens and with my sweet Olivia. So those were the four roots that I felt like I was the answers were do, nourish your body, heart, mind, spirit. The trunk represented some structure, put some structure in my life because at this time things were pretty chaotic. So I needed to set up systems in my personal life, in my home and family. And then the branches represented rediscover your purpose and passion. I am a very passionate person, but at this point in my life, everything felt very gray and dark. And I felt like the promise was if you start taking care of your body and your heart and your mind and spirit on a regular basis and be very deliberate, once again, you'll have that spark in your life and then you'll bear fruit. Bearing fruit because I felt very barren at this time. But bearing fruit was then my gifts and talents. I can share the things that I've learned and share them with others. And so I got to work. And that's what I did, Talia. Just went back to school, started studying, working with coaches, working with mentors, and really started trying to recreate my own life. And when I started seeing those results, and I was at complete rock bottom. I won't go into the details of how bad I was, but man, when I started seeing the results of getting out of that pit, I did feel like I needed to share it. I felt like this pathway was so important to share. So I ended up, as you know, writing this book, 7 Steps to Vibrant Living. You deserve to find joy now. And it describes the tree and each of the elements of the tree. So yeah, that was the beginning of the journey after writing the book. And in writing your books, like that gave me opportunity to start sharing that message and reaching out. And the thought of having someone else stuck in a place of hopelessness, like I was, just made me, I guess, just drives me. Like I never want someone to stay there and give up hope, but wanting to bring tools and connection and community to people to to live a better life, live a brighter life. So that's been my mission, connecting with women and also sharing their stories, having women share their stories because it's through sharing our stories that healing happens and it stays. It's meant to be shared, like the fruit of the tree.
I love that you shared that. It's so interesting because I was looking back thinking, I think we've known each other for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
And so I just didn't say it at the beginning, but not only is Stacy just like a dear friend, but she's also been such a wonderful mentor and coach to me. I was able to, do your coaching program and your health coaching. And I think I think the most important thing is, being around people that have an open mindset that want to learn and grow. And those are the type of women that you attract into your life is women that have been through extremely hard, painful things, but have found the silver linings
Yeah.
among them.
Ups.
And I remember when you had told me your story about absolutely hitting rock bottom and where you were, I just couldn't believe it because I thought she seems like such a light and so bright. And sometimes I think people, with this podcast, creating confidence and communication, we don't all start there, right? I mean, you would say probably, what would you say was the most difficult time in your life? Probably when you were, I would love to hear with the depression or just the parts that people think, well, how could she ever be there? Because I never believed it because I didn't see that side of you. But what
Yeah.
would you say were those darkest points for you?
Oh my goodness. Huh. And it's not just one, right? There's different types. Well, of course, okay. Yeah, of course, the morning of finding my sweet daughter, that I didn't, nothing could prepare me for being so blindsided when that was not in my realm of possibility of all. So the trauma, I'd never been through a traumatic experience like that where what I've learned in the past 20 years, like trauma stays with you, like something happens in your body. And so, but from there, almost immediately that day, the Lord was so gracious and really did lift me in so many ways with people as well as beautiful experiences. It was my mind that kept saying, even though I was granted beautiful spiritual experiences through her passing, but it was when I got started thinking and let my mind, and I think it's for sure other outside things, the adversary, whatever gets helps us like or gets into our head and starts taking us down. And so
Mm-hmm.
when was the rock button? I don't know if I want to
Probably
really
that morning.
the worst. But after I spiraled and my husband rushed me off to the hospital, and my family thought they had lost me. They had lost me, and my sisters traveled from California, and I remember them saying, "Well, we're never going to get her back." Like I was at rock bottom, and they had to do some serious medical intervention to even put my brain into seizures to disrupt the negative thinking that I
Mhm.
had taken over my brain. And it was scary. It was a scary time. And but there was a little glimmer of spark inside me. Like even when I got home from the hospital, I'm like, this is not who I am. Like there was so much piled onto all of that. But now, so there was that glimmer of hope.
Mhm.
And I I guess that was enough to let me to reach out and seek God and guidance to start finding the pathway out, you
Mhm.
know. Um, but there's been a journey, ups and downs along the way, We all have, it's not usually just one. We have other experiences that come into our life and we learn at a whole different level. But now I guess what I say is I I view my experience with an incredible amount of gratitude and humility and my sweet daughter's passing, and we're very close,
Mhm.
and we're inseparable at the time of her passing. And she's also very close to me now in my mission. Her passing really gave birth to my mission. And the inspiration that came to me about adopting her was she would be instrumental in saving her people. And I believe she absolutely is. And we're working in partnership to bring more light and tools and help to others that have gone through painful experiences. And I don't think any of us get through life without those painful experiences. It's
Mhm.
it's who we become along the way. And
Mhm.
without those, we wouldn't be who we are. And I guess when I can come to the place of this was my journey, and who knows if I agree to it or what happened before, I don't know. But right now, it is my path, and I'm going to accept it and honor her as much as I can, as well as bring the tools and light. And honestly, the primary tool is my Savior, Jesus Christ. It was the moment of her the day of her passing that I found a little quiet spot in my home and fell to my knees and begged the Lord for help and understanding. And this idea of Jesus Christ and the atonement could make everything okay, even though it couldn't bring her back, but maybe it could make it okay in some way. And I remember praying about that. holding a shattered heart, and I had just a wave come across me of warmth that it would, and that just a witness like it was going to be okay. I had no idea, and I didn't had no idea the journey it would take after, so
Mhm.
much worse after a couple of years after that. But in the end, I have to believe, and I do believe that he makes everything right and even more beautiful when we partner with him.
I love everything you've shared, and I've realized sometimes those trials that almost break us can be where we're so humble in humility and we're so compassionate for others because of the pain that we've experienced that we can then be humble to just say, what do you want? Like, I'll just give it all to you. And I've seen that throughout the years with you. It's interesting. I've been, putting together this collaboration book that will be out right before Mother's Day. And I've been reading these incredible stories, and they're filled with trials of losing children and losing adult children and spouses and illness and everything you can imagine. But I will tell you, there's just so much light and learning and growth and being able to speak out and communicate now their messages. And they look, and most of them have said, I would never take that trial that was so difficult that almost broke me, that then helped have this beautiful experience to become who they were meant to be.
Yeah.
So I just want to share though that we together we're going to be. Do you want to talk a little bit about what's coming up in the next couple of weeks? How you're able to share this, and you want to help other women with the event that we're going to put together?
Absolutely. I'm so excited about our Vibrant Living Wellness Conference. We call it Arise and Shine. That's from the scripture in Isaiah 61 about arise and shine, that the Lord's light has come upon thee. And so this is a conference to gather women, to link arms with like-minded women that are focused on one, our Savior. It is a Christian conference, but it's all about holistic health and wellness, nourishing your body, heart, mind, spirit. It's so many different classes. We have 30 incredible classes and speakers of so many different things about spiritual gifts or tools for health, divine womanhood, confident communication, leadership, all these different classes, and we'll have vendors. But what it is also is providing a platform for women to share their stories and their voices and their message. I felt very powerful and strong about that. You know, the first time I ever shared my story, and it was even before I had finished my book, I was speaking on a stage and to, I think it was 500 women. I'd never done that before, and I had never shared my story that I had written here in this book with about Olivia. But after I did that, Talia, so many women came up to me and started talking to me and started sharing their stories. And the thought came, we all have a story and we're meant to share it. Our
Mhm.
journeys and experiences are never meant to be wasted. God would never waste a difficult experience. And so this thought was like, I want to gather a community of women to link arms together and to be able to provide a platform for others to share their stories, like you're doing here on your podcast, allowing women to share their stories. And we've been doing that in Vibrant Living for the past 10 years in our gatherings and in our events. So this conference, May 10th, is part of that. It's going to be an incredible day with these speakers and this opening session. The closing session, we're giving away one of our amazing Hawaii health and healing retreats to one guest there at the conference. Then we've been doing that for several years, and you've been over to Hawaii with me too.
Yes.
Yes, and yeah, the night before we're doing this praise night, all sorts of incredible music and musicians and dancing and just collaboration with some incredible people. But more than anything, I think just the energy of coming around with people that have a vision, that want to strengthen each other, want to help each other, help another person on their journey, because we're all there. And it's not like once you've arrived, no, now we have a new experience. You said, what was the hardest part of it? Well,
Yeah.
was it part of that experience? Was it when I got breast cancer? Was it when I had this other experience? We're layered.
Yeah.
You understand that, right? I mean, that's what life is. Our journey is also, it's these little mini heroes' journeys. We go through that
Mhm.
cycle, but around each of the healing cycles, we progress. I see that as our journey, not a straight shot. I mean, it's down again and up and down again. But now we're just refining, right?
Yep.
So it's
Getting
going to be an
stronger.
incredible gathering of women and some men too. We have some male speakers as well.
And we invite everyone to come. What's so neat about this is it's kind of right before Mother's Day. So it's like pampering yourself. We've got people that are talking in nutrition classes, good foods, way to have, stylish jewelry, fun things. I mean, it's going to be all around beautiful, right? I'm just so excited.
Yes, it's a day. Absolutely. Grab your mom, your sister, your daughter, your friend, and come fill your bucket. Get pampered. Come away just really elevated from the experience. I promise you, you will be. Incredible music. Just,
Yes, well, I am so, so excited. And then if anyone wants to find you or reach out, Stacey, how can they do that? What's the best way to reach you?
well, let me just say, as far as the conference goes,
Yeah.
to go to www.vibrantlivingwellnessconference.com. So that's where you can go get a ticket
Okay.
for the conference for sure. And then my website is stacyharmer.com. And you can, in the contact section, you can reach out and send me a message.
Awesome. Well, if there's one thing you could leave our guests with that are struggling, maybe they've lost a loved one or they're just struggling with mindset because mental health issues are really a big deal right now for people. What would you leave them with? What's one tool that you could share today that could help someone find a path to just, like you said, that little glimmer of hope, a little glimmer that maybe something could change?
Oh, so many tools. But if I guess I have one thing is just to remember who you are, even when you feel like all is lost and you couldn't be whatever you desire to be. No, remember who you are and whose you are, and bringing that inward to actually just love yourself. And I know that sounds, I never used to get it. What did that mean to really love yourself? But accepting every part of you, knowing that yes, you're imperfect, knowing that you're going to make mistakes and stumble all along the way. But that is not, that's when we're focused, on ourselves and whether we measure up, that's not the issue. Remembering yourself with love and grace and knowing that with Christ, with who I believe can make everything beautiful in your life. And just in that partnership, to me, that's probably the last nugget I would share.
Mm, I love it. That we are worthy, we're amazing because that's our divine worth. That's who we truly are. Not
Yeah.
all the false things that we hear or see or comparison in the world is that look in that mirror and just know that we have talents and gifts and that we are awesome. So I love that you shared even writing and those tools. So hopefully you can reach out to Stacy. You guys can come and join us at this amazing conference. Tell your friends. It's just going to be fantastic. And I love that you're giving away a trip to Hawaii because oh my gosh, they're like the best retreats ever. And so honestly, if you just come for that opportunity, that's worth it alone, right?
Yeah, those are really special. And you'll come away feeling so rejuvenated, rested, renewed. Lots of personal one-on-one coaching. The foods that you eat are so cleansing. It's really an incredible experience for sure.
Oh, well, Stacy, thank you so much for taking time for us today. We
Mhm.
appreciate you so much and can't wait to connect with you. Uh,
Thank you, Talia. And I hope to see so many of you out there as well.
awesome. I know I'll be there and I know many women will be. This is going to be awesome. So we will talk to you all next week at Creating Confident Communication. And remember, if we can create confidence and have better communication in our life through our trials, we know you can too.